Muscle wasting is also known as muscle atrophy, and that's a consequence of the loss of motor neurons in ALS. In your body, motor neurons are necessary to keep the muscle cells working. When the motor neurons are lost, the muscle will waste away, and unfortunately, you cannot stop that or you cannot reverse it.
When they're not able to move their own limbs, when they can't move their arm overhead or move their leg to stretch themselves out, they get tight, they lose range of motion, they can get the contractures, and it can become quite painful and debilitating.
Contractures are very common in ALS. A joint is stuck in a certain position. So the person with ALS may experience discomfort because their joints, such as the fingers or a foot, are stuck in a certain position. Ideally, you want to prevent that. If it occurs, you can use exercise to gently move the joint through the available range of motion. Of course, you want to make sure that you do the exercises gently because you do not want to damage the joint or the bones or the tendons.
Range of motion exercises are critical and really should be done daily to help maintain motion in the joints and maintain the ability to function and move. In most long-term care facilities, it's not built into the daily routine. These exercises really don't take a lot of time, but they can add great benefit to the resident that you're working with. They can help relieve pain, help manage some of that spasticity and discomfort, and maintain range of motion in the joints.
Spasticity is very common in ALS. You may hear people refer to it as increased muscle tone, or also muscle tightness or stiffness. That may feel as if their fingers or legs are frozen, are hard and tight, and that can interfere with activities of daily living, such as getting dressed or moving in a certain position. Clonus can be a consequence of ALS, and it can appear as if an arm or a leg or a foot is shaking. Certain activities or movements can trigger clonus, and so it will be important when performing care, you don't perform activities that will be uncomfortable and trigger clonus.
In this video, I'll be demonstrating different range of motion techniques that you can do with an individual in bed, in their wheelchair, or in a shower chair. For example, if you have a few extra minutes during the shower, you can do some of these stretches. Hot water can actually make it easier to move and can help the muscles relax. So if you have someone under hot water, you can sneak in some of these stretches and it may feel pretty amazing. When someone's in bed and you're helping them get dressed and you're going to put their leg through their pants, if you take a few seconds to move their leg up and out to the side, that is a good way to sneak in some of the leg exercises before you put the leg in. You can also do it as you're taking their pants off. When putting someone's shoes on, you can take a few extra seconds to extend their toes, straighten out their toes before putting it in the shoe. And when you take off the shoe, do that one more time. 10-15 seconds of holding the toes straight can make a big difference. At the same time, you can hold their ankle up, and that can stretch out their calf as you're putting on the shoe. For the arms, when you're thinking about putting someone's shirt on, take an extra 30 seconds to raise their arm up overhead, so you can some rotation at the shoulder and straighten out the elbow, and then you'd repeat it on the other side. When you are helping someone with shaving or washing their hair or brushing their hair, bring their ear towards their shoulder to stretch out the opposite side of the neck. And then hold that there for maybe 10-15 seconds before switching and bringing the other ear to the opposite shoulder. Massaging the neck and shoulders or straightening out fingers on an armrest can make a world of difference to someone who's been sitting there tight all day. Another thing you may have noticed is when you take off someone's shirt at the end of the day, they may have all the lines in their back from sitting in their wheelchair with a slightly wrinkled shirt up against their back. Those lines can be quite uncomfortable, and giving someone a 10-second back scratch can offer them significant relief. Whenever you're stretching someone and moving them in and out of these exercises, you want to do it slowly. Moving fast, you can actually trigger some of that spasticity or increased stiffness that we talked about. Since the spasticity is velocity dependent, the faster you move, the worse it can get. None of these exercises should be painful, so you want to check in with the person that you're working with, make sure that they're tolerating everything. How you doing? Is that okay? And while we know a lot of people with ALS aren't able to communicate and let you know that it's maybe uncomfortable, if you look at their face, feel the limb. If you feel that increased resistance, don't fight it. Don't push through it. You can back off and relax and check in with them. Even just asking someone, is this okay? And looking at their face for a response can make a big difference. How's that? Doing okay? We're almost finished. Yeah, they're tight. Your body mechanics are also very important. We don't want you to injure yourself while you're doing this. So this usually means a wide, staggered stance, bending your knees, straightening your back, and keeping the person's limb close to your body. You'll notice how I'm moving through a lot of the stretches using my whole body to move with them rather than just my arms to lift the leg. This will make it far easier on you and minimize risk of injury. I would encourage you to reach out to physical therapists either in your facility or if you know someone in the area that you can reach out to, or the resident's neurologist or physician who is helping to manage that person's care.
ALS affects the body in a very significant way. And between the contractures, spasticity, muscle wasting, muscle atrophy, people can be in a lot of discomfort or even pain. And so it's very important to do daily exercises to try to reduce the pain, preserve the range of motion, prevent the formation of contractures, because all of these can have a huge impact on someone's quality of life.